Okay, Brett, we've cornered you today to ask you a few of the questions we've just been dying to ask. So we're going to start with where you grew up and what was your first job?
I grew up on the south coast, a place called Mount Warrigal, which is not far from Shell Harbour and about half an hour from Wollongong. Great place to grow up, great place for kids to explore. We had the beach close by, rainforest, lakes, heaps of bushwalks and bush tracks, so
Sure.
great place to grow up. And my first job was as a carpenter when I
Right.
was 14 or 15, and used to put together a few dodgy kitchens, whack them up in about half an hour. But I'm not even sure if they're still standing. But yeah, just a great place to learn a trade.
Great. And did you always want to be a fast bowler or be a sportsman?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed playing sport. My mother, when she was young, she was a sprinter, so I think that we always had that willing to play and like learn sport growing up from a pretty young age. And having two brothers, sport in the backyard was a lot of fun. We had huge competitions, and I think when I was 9, I always wanted to play for Australia, so I just kept going after that.
Great. And who did you look up to when you were growing up and looking to become a representative for your country? Was there anyone that you sort of looked up to for inspiration?
Had a couple. A bloke by the name of Alan Donald that played for South Africa. He was probably my favourite bowler growing up. Curtly Ambrose from the West Indies, and funny enough, my older brother Shane, he proved that it's possible to represent Australia coming from the Lee household from Mount Warrigal, which I thought might not be possible. So I sort of followed his suit, and about 2 or 3 years after he started playing for Australia, then I got my chance.
Great stuff. So who's the best batsman you've played against? Is there anyone that stands out?
I think everyone. I think
Yeah.
they're all pretty good batsmen these days, but top two would probably be, I would say, Brian Lara or Sachin Tendulkar. They're the two batsmen that it's always a nightmare to bowl to. It's a bit like Groundhog Day.
Right.
It just
okay.
keeps happening.
And you've been known to hit big sixes. How come?
It's amazing what happens when you shut your eyes and you swing as hard as you can. Sometimes you get one out of the middle, but no, I've actually worked pretty hard on my batting over the past couple of years, and it's just I sort of felt confident if the ball was up, try and swing through the line, and occasionally one comes off and it sails over the fence.
Great. And do you have a favourite cricket ground you like to play at, and why? Is there any particular ground that you sort of feel drawn to, or you feel great when you're playing out there? Or
Yeah, there are a few. I like playing in Western Australia, Perth, because it's a pretty fast wicket. It's conducive to fast bowling over there, but it's pretty hard to go past where I made my debut for New South Wales. Definitely playing here in Sydney, the Sydney Cricket Ground. It's got a lot of tradition. There's so much history, and to know that the same change room that we still sit in, maybe I'm possibly sat in the same seat as Don Bradman, so still sends a few goosebumps down the back of the spine.
Can imagine. So when you're actually batting and you get a big bouncer from another bowler, how do you feel?
Scared, frightened. I think the best way to answer that is the fact, being a fellow fast bowler, I know that it's all part of the game through Test match cricket to receive bounces, bowl bounces. It's called a Test match because it's a test of character, it's a test of courage, and there's going to be times when I'm on the receiving end of a few bounces, but I generally give my fair share back as well.
A bit of karma.
Exactly.
You've had your fair share of dropped catches.
And that's only been in the backyard.
Okay.
There's been
So
a few.
I take it upsets you.
No, it's just all part of cricket.
Yeah.
And you might get a drop catch and the camera might pan on you, and you sort of know at one particular time around the ground there's 20 cameras that can all be showing you from a different angle.
Sure.
So you've got to make sure that you keep a positive frame of mind and don't drop your head too much. And we know that there's like a lot of kids out there watching, and they try to emulate sports people and stuff, so it's a matter of trying to wipe that behind you and just get on with the game. I know it's hard, but you just got to
I
try
guess
and
that's what
blink
makes
it
a
out.
great sportsman.
Yeah, and that's just like a thing that you learn growing up. You have to deal with setbacks, and I've had plenty of setbacks, but no one means to drop a catch, so
Yeah.
you just try and get on with it.
Sure. And how fast can you bowl, just for the record?
Fastest ball recorded is 160.8 k's an hour, so it's about 100 mile an hour.
Great.
Hopefully go a little bit quicker next year.
Playing such big matches and being out there on the field, you have to stay fit and healthy. How do you do that? What's part of your training regime?
Eating a lot of Weet-Bix every morning, getting up from the crack of dawn. No, look, we train pretty hard. We train 7 days a week, and it could be training from anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day. So we do train pretty hard. We have to make sure that we're well hydrated, and it's just a matter of going out there and having a lot of fun. I know that we're playing cricket and we're playing at the highest level, which is great, but to me it's just a game, and to think that it can be a career, let alone the chance to sort of go on and actually make a name for yourself. It's just a game of cricket, and I'm pretty lucky, I think.
Great. Outside of cricket, we've heard you've played in a few bands. What instruments can you play?
None.
None.
No.
So you were
No,
the lead?
Well, they actually, through my older brother Shane again, a New South Wales cricket team, they wanted to start a rock and roll band. And growing up as a kid, I always want to be a rock and roll star. As I think most kids, between sport and music, they try and choose one. And to sum up the story quickly, my older brother was on rhythm guitar. A mate of mine, Richard, who was in the team, was a lead singer. Another good mate of mine, Brad, was on lead. My other mate, Gavin, was on drums. So I thought, what instruments left? And there was no one playing bass. So I went and grabbed my younger brother, who's a fantastic musician, and we're totally nowhere near his standard. And we went and chose a bass, and I did a gig a week later.
Great.
And I was very, very nervous.
That's great. So who's your favourite band right now? Anyone in particular?
Six and Out.
Yeah.
Nah, that's our band. Yeah. Pretty dodgy band. Nah, I actually like Green Day. Green Day's a really good band, I think, and a couple of other bands coming through. I mean, it's pretty hard to go past the things of Bon Jovi, but Robbie Williams and Elvis Presley, I think, are my two favourite artists.
Great. And tell us something not many people would know about you. We've heard from a special source that
this would be nice.
you were actually a pig handler on the movie Babe.
That's correct. Yes. I know that seems very, very embarrassing, but when I was in Year 7 at high school, the movie Babe was shot at Robertson, which is only half an hour from Mount Warrigal, and there were 52 little pigs used in the movie Babe, because obviously it takes a while to film.
Yeah.
Pigs grow really quickly, and so they had to sort of keep moving the pigs along. Once it got to a certain age, they would use a smaller pig and bring it through, and so forth. And I used to do a fair bit of work down in the agricultural shed, so I was working down there on a couple of occasions and had to hand feed all the pigs and rear them up and all that type of stuff. And for my efforts in the pig shed, I was granted with a credit in the movie Babe, so I went and hired it out, and sure enough, there was about 500 pig handlers.
Oh, wonderful.
And there was one there that said Brett Lee, so...
Great stuff. So
happy
your
days.
claim to fame.
That's my 15 minutes of fame, being a pig handler. Yeah.
So is there anything you like to do first thing in the morning when you get out of bed? Is there a
Open my eyes.
routine you follow?
No, look, I try to keep on a pretty specific routine as per most people do, I think, that that are involved in sport or business. But most mornings I get up, the most important thing is to have a big breakfast, because I'm always on the go. And that's why I keep telling all the kids, and they ask me how many Weet-Bix I do every morning, and I always tell them 7. But look, it's just a matter of getting up, having a great breakfast, and just giving yourself every opportunity that when you do go through the day, it comes 3 o'clock, you're not feeling lethargic and you're not tired, so it makes you more aware, and you can be more attentive, especially for the kids at school and that.
Is there any particular way you like your Weet-Bix?
In a bowl with some milk. There's an array of fruit that goes with it, but you can have them, you can spit on the Marmite, you can put honey on top of it. There's a few different options, but
bit of variety in your breakfast.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Any idea of what you want to do after cricket? Is there something that you're sort of looking forward to in the future, or?
Well, I've been involved in clothing. I've been on the fashion scene for about 10, 11 years now, which surprises me that it's actually gone really, really quick.